Oh shit, yo. We got games to talk about. We got games to talk about.
We do have games.
We got a lot of games coming out this year. A lot in just the first half of the year.
Easy.
A lot of heavy hitters. A lot of heavy hitters. Let me go grab a list really quick because I have it tabbed open. Upcoming games in 2020. I'm going to link the Polygon article for you gentlemen in the Discord chat. Yes, Lord. Yes, I am. I did it. Yes, Lord. Okay.
Gozaimasu.
I kind of want to like go through the entire like list of like all the games of interest. You know.
Yeah, I just made a video on a lot of these. In fact,
I was thinking about doing that, like games I'm interested in. We still have yet to gotten anything for certain games that I'm interested in, like any release dates and shit like that. But I am looking forward to a lot of stuff that is supposed to come out in this next year and or get a release date at E3. And or because a lot of stuff that we know now is all like pre E3. And it's like that's cool and all, but those games, there's only maybe out of the games that are coming out, there's maybe like 5 that are gonna be like still talked about by the time the next quarter of the next quarter of the year starts, which are like Final Fantasy VII's, the Cyberpunk, The Last of Us.
Z3 already?
Huh?
Does Z3 already have a date?
It's always the second week of June or third. Second or third.
I think it's the second. I'm pretty sure it's the second.
So a lot of these games aren't coming out then after E3. Most of these are before.
Most of these are all before. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
so
that means 2020 is gonna be absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, 2020, because 2020 is like the last goodbye for the current console generation. All Xbox comes out. All new Xbox comes out at the end of this year. New PS5, Switch literally just came out like 2 years ago, so it's still gonna be there, which means we're probably gonna be getting.
We're supposed to get a Switch Pro by the end of the year.
Really?
Yeah, yes. I'm pretty excited.
Okay,
I don't like
well, there you go. But it's still a Switch though. It's not like it's not like a new generation thing.
You remember how the 3DS, the new 3DS had like games specifically made for the new 3DS?
You think it's gonna be the same thing?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same thing.
Well, hey,
pretty sure it's gonna be the same thing. Now,
I don't think so.
From a marketing
I think
that is smart.
I think it's going to be just like the PS4. In terms of like how
some of the games are enhanced.
Yeah. Some games are optimized for that new experience, and then some are just kind of like, hey, here's 30 FPS and only 30 FPS, and if you want, you can get the Switch Pro, play everything at 60, even in docked.
Definitely getting the Pro.
If that's the case, I'm definitely getting the Pro, 100%.
I'm getting the Pro no matter what. Because
I kind of have to. It's the content creator thing. You have to keep up with everything, unfortunately.
Well, just for the simple fact that it ups the resolution. Like ups the resolution. There's more battery. Yeah. Like I don't use my. I don't really care about the battery part because it's gonna stay docked no matter what because I have the light. But as far as just content creation goes and doing what I do with that, it's gonna up the quality overall natively on the Switch. Because I just found out there's a cord or a cable or whatever, and it forces your Switch to send out 1440p. So the Switch is capable of sending out shit more than 1080. It just doesn't. And there's a cable that you plug up to the Switch to your Elgato or whatever, and it forces it out at 1440p, which is odd. Okay. Odd for them to do or whatever for that cable specifically for that number, but it does it. And I only found out about it because I was watching one of what's that dude's name? That Austin John guy, and he mentioned it. The cable, he said the cable's bad. Like it works when it wants to, and then it doesn't. A lot of other content creators have really good luck with it. It's very unreliable from his perspective, but from where he got it from, he says the guy has no issues with it whatsoever.
Okay.
No.
I mean, well, shit.
I'm personally not gonna buy one. I don't need a 1440 anything for my.
Yeah, Switch. I don't either. Not until I get my monitor.
That's how I feel. Well, I guess let's get into it. The very first game coming out of anything major is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
You know what sucks? First of all, if you get it early, definitely try and do your boy a solid and hook me up. But if you don't, it's cool. We're not
Who
gonna
said I
be
was
here.
getting the game early?
I said if. The reason I'm asking if is not for it to be free, but I mean like literally early, because we won't be here that weekend.
Why?
It comes out the weekend of Oh no, shit! Never mind. It's not that weekend. It's PAX in February.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
I
I'm
say,
thinking of the
oh,
Pokemon
man,
tournament.
say, like,
There's a regional in Dallas
What's good
that's
with
on the
you?
same exact weekend. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, I'll keep all that.
Kakarot, are y'all excited for Kakarot? Is anybody?
I'm excited and I'm not excited at the same time.
I'm definitely excited because it's story driven. It's not multiplayer. There's no create a character gimmicks. There's no
I think
it's
the
story
reason
driven.
that I'm not excited as much as I was initially when they announced it is because there's a couple of YouTubers who got early previews of it or whatever, and bro, what the fuck is this anime hentai? Okay, whatever. Anyway, there's a thing called or not a thing. It plays like Xenoverse. Apparently, the combat system is like Xenoverse, and I'm not against Xenoverse's combat system, but I would definitely like more from that because Xenoverse just feels like it's a 3-button game.
I don't think that's true.
See, now,
Have you seen the fight for it? Have you seen the combat like Vegeta versus Goku or anything like that?
It.
No, that shit is definitely Xenoverse inspired.
Yeah, you see it on the
like
bottom
it.
left.
It
It's got
reminds me
circle for fight,
of,
and then it's got square for
it reminds me
energy
of
or whatever.
Who remembers Storm 4, like the big boss battles from Storm 4?
Yeah, where you had limited actions, but they all did the same shit.
It's from that same POV. Like if anybody remembers, like in Storm 4, they had the Kaguya fight, right? And like she was like a big ass rabbit and shit, and you were playing as like Kakashi Susanoo, and it was that ass like that big like that POV of like you going through like the fucking just the screen and shit, but like that person or that thing stays in one area and or from like one angle, but then like they try to like make it like more dynamic by adding more angles to it, and like I said, it's very Xenoverse inspired. I'm not gonna deny that. I saw. Like, I can't sit here and lie to you. I've seen a lot more gameplay than I needed to, and that's why I'm not excited. Like, I'm not excited because they've pretty much shown everything. Like, it's like, hey, here's literally the whole Dragon Ball Z story, which we already know. It's fine if we're retelling the story. It's fine as long as the experience is fresh and new. It's cool, right?
Right.
So the story, I'm not gonna fault them for that because it's Dragon Ball. We know Dragon Ball at this point. My issue is that they've pretty much sold everybody on this, like, on all the slice of life shit. It's like, hey, you can fish. Hey, you can ride Goku. Hey, you can cook. You can eat. You can go out with the characters. You can drive the cars. And it's like, yeah, that's great and all, but can you stop showing us the game? You know what I'm saying?
It's the same issue that I had with the previous Pokemon. That's why I'm so proud of what they did for Sword and Shield. Regardless of how that game came out, we didn't have a bundle of information
that much information
to judge the game off of.
And that's the thing about it.
Xenoverse or not Xenoverse, Kakarot. If they just gave us Kakarot based off the fact that what we saw last year and then maybe 1 or 2 trailers, I wouldn't have this perception of 50-50. This game's gonna be great.
Well, that's my thing too, because they really did this thing where it was like, hey, even if it is the same Dragon Ball Z story, here are all these slice of life things that we know you guys are gonna like, and it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but you're really showing us damn near the entire game. Like, if you watch like one of those hour-long, 20-minute, 25-minute ass like gameplay things, where it's not even just the fucking story or whatever, it's literally just Goku or Vegeta just swarming around the world and shit and getting attacked randomly. You just dead ass. You know what I'm saying? You literally just fly around, and it's like, yeah,
that's it. That's it.
I have hope that that's not gonna be it.
We all hope that's
the hope. That's the hope. That's my hope. Because this is my thing. My thing is like they promoted it to where it's literally like how Sun and Moon did, where it was like, here's everything, just to sell you on the idea that this game is new. And it's like, okay, that's cool and all, but like, is it all flying? And then like 1 or 2 area is, you know, the cooking and the fishing and all this, like, why does this look so like dumbed down from like a regular ass RPG, like a quote unquote open world RPG? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's not the story. The story is Dragon Ball. It's not the story. It's not the content itself, because the content itself is great. You know what I'm saying? All that extra shit you can do in the game is great and all, but I think the most appealing thing about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot for me is the fact that they basically said, hey, we're going to be answering a lot of canon information in this video game, and it is canon.
Yeah. That's my big thing. That's why I want to.
Yeah?
Yeah, hold on. My VR just came off.
That nigga Mikey.
There we go. All right.
No, Mikey capped like he wasn't struggling. There you go.
All right. So anyway, my thing is, I'm hoping that with the little tidbits that they are going to give us for the canon story or whatnot, they're going to answer way more things than we already know.
You know what I want? You know what I want? You know what I really want? What? I really want them to touch on the Saiyans again. Because you know how like I feel like they scratched the surface with Bardock, and like how the King and Vegeta and all that, like how the Saiyans were back then in the movie, and I feel like if they really wanted to like start off on some real strong shit, they do more with the Saiyan shit in the Namek saga. Because remember in the Namek saga, Vegeta deadass had like 2 or 3 flashbacks regarding the Saiyans and how like they were, especially when Frieza was like in the vicinity or whatever, and he told Goku like, hey, this is what happened. And it's like, that's cool and all, but like I feel like the Saiyans would be fucking phenomenal. If they started off if they start off Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, not with Goku, not with like the Saiyan saga, not with Goku coming out of the capsule when Grandpa Gohan found him, but also like how the original shit started, where it's deadass Bardock fighting the horse and shit.
Yeah.
And before he died,
Broly movie, you know how they just was that the Broly movie? No. That was
the Bardock special.
Yeah. Where they showed off like Bardock and his wife, the kid, all that shit, and what Frieza were doing. If we get an entire saga in the game for that, like, and it doesn't even have to be centered around Bardock, just the fact that the Saiyans were there. They were their own people.
Yeah, just some Saiyan presence, you know, like just like hey,
exactly.
I would like to see how the shit went down from the Broly movie.
What you mean?
Like instead of
fight?
You know how, yeah, like how like Bardock and them had their last stand in that situation.
Well,
in the canon situation.
That's what I'm saying too. Like I want them to. Now that we've established what the Saiyans are and what they did, now that we have a canon for the Saiyans now.
Right.
Because you know, for damn near 2 or 3 decades now, we've been under the assumption of fucking the Saiyans like these tribal warriors and shit like that. But it's like, nah, if you read Dragon Ball Minus and look at the Broly movie, these niggas were actually very advanced. They were advanced for what they used to be. They were dead they weren't fucking stupid. They just were strong as shit, and they didn't have like no actual guidance. They were power hungry creatures. Like King Vegeta is literally that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you can give me like more political shit, more like King Vegeta's emotions. If you can give me the interaction between King Vegeta and Beerus.
Yes.
Not from the anime, but like from like how they were in the game and shit. More context to that shit. I feel like that'd be amazing. Then give me that gas, inject me with the Saiyan sock. Give me all that. Give me all that. I need that whole fight, right? Fuck it. Give me that 2 weeks. Goku's in the spaceship. We had Namek. I need the Ginyu Force spazzing. I need all that shit, son. But if it's literally just a carbon copy like Dragon Ball Z story, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Like if we're talking about canon information and you all confirming and doing all this extra shit and Toriyama's here storyboarding this shit, fine. Let's do it. Let's get that gas in because we know. You know what I'm saying? Like we know the story. That's my thing. We know the story.
I really just want a robust gameplay experience.
Honestly,
I think that comes along with the story and how we get the game itself. You know what I mean? Like how we're talking about this universe. how it
Yes.
earlier.
Teddy, hold on. Teddy said something. I want to know what Ginyu's original body was.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is.
You know, I just thought about.
That's what I
Out
want to
of
know.
all of DBZ history, I've never questioned what Ginyu's original body looked like. I just imagine.
Did you know Zarbon has an actual race and it's not just that regular character?
The red dude?
They showed that.
Remember
Zarbon?
Zarbon, like Frieza's henchman.
Yeah.
You know how like Zarbon and Dodoria like dead ass by themselves look like regular ass new characters. Turns out Zarbon's actually a part of a race. They all look the same.
And they all have the same transformation.
They all have the same transformation and
killed
everything. Probably Zarbon was probably the strongest one out of that whole regime or whatever. And Frieza was like, "Boo, here you go, we outie." But that's that. That's Kakarot. Hopefully the game is good. We're gonna find out in a week or so, or I don't know.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Comes out on the 17th or 16th.
Yeah, 17th.
17th. Yeah, so we got 2 weeks for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I'm very excited. Definitely, content is definitely coming on that. I'm pretty sure from all three of us, unless Mikey's just playing.
I'll probably just play that one and sit that one out. I'm honestly going to be more focused on Phantasy Star Online 2 when that drops.
That was coming. That was on the list. Hold on,
that's when you'll start to see me upload.
Let's be pushing.
You're gonna just like hard transition into Phantasy Star.
Yeah.
This one.
So I wonder why don't you just like a quick question because you mentioned it. I know we'll get to it eventually, but why aren't you doing anything with it now? Because it's not like you don't play it and know how to do the whole.
Well, right now I'm in a transition from I'm working hard at work trying to get actually hired on, and then I still have school to deal with. So right now, my first two classes, they were very easy. This class that I'm about to, as a matter of fact, it starts tomorrow, is actually my first game design class. So,
you're getting into the mix of it now. Okay,
I'm gonna have to buckle down on that and get a pattern going for that class, and the classes going forward before I can like set something up. Because the first two classes I took were fucking baby classes. I literally did all my work the night before it was due, and I got A's on everything. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that going forward.
Yeah, no, you're gonna.
It's just life stuff at that point.
Yeah. So once I figure out all of that shit and compartmentalize my time, I'll be able to start getting back into Phantasy Star and all that kind of stuff. Because I do want to put out videos, but I just need the time.
I'm actually gonna get into Phantasy Star when it comes out because I'm coming back to Twitch. Wait. And I'm going to make the Twitch like a multiplayer thing. So, like, Phantasy Star. I want to get back into Apex whenever Overwatch gets, like, another thing or whatever. Like Overwatch a more multiplayer. 2. Yeah, we're doing Monster Hunter World. Yoki, we're still doing
Overwatch
that.
1.5.
Shit like that. Next game on the list is, I think, only me type of thing. Ori and the Blind Forest. Or Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
I have the first one on PC and Switch. I just haven't.
You were doing yourself.
I have the first one on PC. I have the Ultimate Edition.
You are doing yourself a crazy disservice, dog. One of the best platformers in the decade.
I still haven't played Hollow Knight, and I'm in love with that game.
How? Wait, what?
I've watched a lot of people play it and stream it and speedrun it, so I like the atmosphere and the game itself. I just haven't dedicated the time to sit down and play it.
I'm actually playing that soon for the Patreon.
Hollow Knight's really good.
I know that's me. I think that's just the me thing. I'm excited for Ori 100%. I probably will not stream it though or not do any content on it. I'll probably just play it on my own.
I'm probably gonna pick that up later.
Yeah.
I'm not really that interested in it, even though it's a beautiful game. There's more interesting games to me coming down the pipeline. And that takes precedence over that.
And that's all of February. Like Ori is the only like monumental game coming out that month of February.
And 9 times out of 10, I'll still be playing Kakarot.
Yeah, like, Kakarot's gonna like basically just kind of just segue into everything. Yeah. Next is the big month. We're starting off with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That's gonna kill all my time too in March. Because I've never, like, if you haven't been to the past broadcast, I've never played Final Fantasy VII. So that's going to be my first experience with Cloud, Aeris, and the rest of the crew.
Well, but you know them, though. Like, you know the story and everything, right?
Yeah, I know
I
played Crisis Core.
I don't think he knows like the game story, but I think he
No,
knows.
I don't know
He
the
just
game
knows like the
story,
major
like,
He knows
plot
like
point.
the overarching, like the whole thing. So
I know why Sephiroth did what he did to become what he was. Because I played Crisis Core.
He's a lord.
So yeah, it's gonna be a great experience.
I'm excited because I just love the game.
The game's really good.
I love the world. Final Fantasy VII as a world is amazing. That's the reason why I think it's the reason why it's the best Final Fantasy to a lot of people is because like it's the only game. It's one of the only games in probably the biggest one in the series that has gotten that humongous world development that wasn't anything new. Like I feel like the older games, while people have their opinions like 8 is trash, 9 is the best Final Fantasy, 6 is the best Final Fantasy, that's cool and all, but none of those games have like the world that Final Fantasy 7 does. Mind you, this is like pre-10.
Okay, I was just about to say because I was like, 10 is right there.
Because even 10 is, you find out 10 is in the same universe as 7 just years down the line.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you find that if you play through 7, there's like not a cutscene, but there's an NPC that has, I think his name is Shinra, or the ship is made by Shinra or some shit like that. I don't remember the specifics, but and even more, that's adding to the Final Fantasy 7 world. You see what I'm saying?
Pretty wild, actually.
Okay.
So it's like Final Fantasy 7.
I guess I never noticed because I never played Final Fantasy 7.
You see? It's like Final Fantasy 7 is like Crisis Core. All the shit that happens in Crisis Core. There's the actual game itself. We already know how monumental Final Fantasy 7 was. Then you had the movie that was trying to like capitalize off Kingdom Hearts. And then I guess the not remaster, but the port. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the Vincent game, and Vincent's one of the more popular characters from Final Fantasy VII, which is Dirge of Cerberus. Even though that game was it was definitely trash. I like the story continuity of it because it actually adds more to it. But
wasn't it a Devil May Cry clone?
I know it was one of those like third-person shooter joints that tried to like.
I was gonna say I only remember one stage, and it's like some gothic stage. He's walking through a cemetery or whatever.
It's one of them.
That's the only stage I remember from that game.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the world of Final Fantasy VII is just big. It's just a big world. There's so much. There's so much to that world itself. And then when you get to the 10s, it kind of sucks because most of the 10s live in the shadow of what 15 used to be. Like if you count Final Fantasy 10, 10-2, and that's it, right? That's a whole different thing. 11 is a online RPG. 12 is probably the weakest Final Fantasy. I hate 12 so much, dude. I hate that game. That game I do not like. I do not like 12. 12 is dead ass. 12 is dead ass Final Fantasy. No, 12 is dead ass Last Remnant. If anybody's played the Last Remnant,
oh my god, no.
That's what you compare 12 to?
No, because it's the same game. It's the exact same gameplay.
Yeah.
It's the exact same gameplay. God. It's the exact same gameplay.
I had downloaded Last Remnant just to see, I think it was like a $199. I was like, well, it's got good scores. Can't be that bad for $199. It's like, what the fuck did I just download?
It's exactly Last Remnant. It's exactly Last Remnant. Like it's carbon, like it's dead ass. Like they came out at I think around the same time too, and 12. Oh man, I hate 12 so much. This is a bad game. I don't like it personally. It's not mine. Then like 13, it's weird because like 13 is in like one of those weird ass development stages.
13 wanted to be 7, so
well, no, 13 is supposed to be a part of 15. How that whole who remembers this? Final Fantasy 13 was a part of a trilogy. It was Final Fantasy 13 versus 13.
Yeah, that's right.
And then whatever third game, and then whatever third game that was, it was supposed to be a part of a whole.
It was 13 too.
No. That's just a result of Versus 13 flopped or not being made into a thing.
Yeah, if you look up Versus 13, it's completely different than what we got.
Versus 13, and then I think it was that card game. What was that card game?
The one from 10 or 9 or what?
No. It was that. It was
it was a mobile game.
It was Final. It was that PSP game that made it to. Oh,
Dissidia.
No.
No, the city is not the card game.
It was the Type Zero. Type Zero.
Yeah, they turned that into a mobile game.
No. So Type Zero. So Type 0, 13, and Versus 13 were supposed to be set in the same like fucking world and shit. But because Versus 13 went through the hell that it went through, they had to basically take 13 and build off of what they already had in that game, and then made like Type 0 its own thing as well. That has like its own like little fucking spin-off thing. And then Versus 13 still went through its 10-year, decade-long, 16-year fucking limbo, and we got 15, and 15 is not what Versus 13 was supposed to be. Which is why Nomura was so mad about that, which is why that Verum Rex game is like in Kingdom Hearts, and that's gonna be the next like thing entirely different from that. Like that's how that's supposed to work.
Is that going to be his next IP?
Verum Rex is supposed to be Nomura's take, and I guess Nomura's like iteration of what Versus 13 was supposed to be, and they put it in Kingdom Hearts 3 because that is what Nomura is going to be working on next. While Kingdom Hearts 3 finishes up whatever it's supposed to be finishing up, and it's going to get its own game.
I hope so. That should look fire.
So that's the one thing about like the 10s that's really weird. All the 10s, all the teen Final Fantasies all live in like that in that weird limbo of like Versus 13 development leading into 15, and then 15 being what it was, despite it being not Nomura's bread and butter, and him having to have a grudge towards that game. And so it's like all the teen Final Fantasies live in that drama that is Square Enix and that Versus 13 development, because there's a lot of politics that were involved in developing that game.
I feel like there was a lot of it done. It was a lot of it done, but they didn't want to let go of
Nomura didn't want to let go.
Yeah.
He they bitter as fuck about that shit. Out. Exactly. And so that's why when it comes to the teens, I understand why everybody says like the teens are so hard to get into, because it is. Unless you play Final Fantasy X, 11 is an old ass MMO that a small minority amount of people play to this day. 12 is ass. 13 isn't what it is. It what it's supposed to be, but it's still. I don't know. I like Lightning.
Paradigm shift mechanic it could have been good, but the way they executed it, along with the takes 20 hours before the story gets good kind of bullshit, it's not good.
I think 13 too is the best in that series, in that trilogy of games. And then 14 is obviously the successful MMO that we do have, and then 15 is the company's way of saying fuck you to Nomura because the development took too long. So all of the teen Final Fantasies are in that are just in that weird transition. Like it's weird now.
Do you know who? Because you said Nomura 15, that wasn't his idea at all, basically.
So the guy that worked
on
the guy that worked on 15 actually left before the game was finished.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay.
And so I forgot his name. It's some Japanese name. I don't know like how I don't remember. But I know
he wasn't. So Nomura was doing KH3 at the time.
Yeah, Nomura was working on Kingdom Hearts 3 and then the Final Fantasy remake at the same time. So it's kind of just like, yeah, and Final Fantasy Versus 13 too. So it's kind of just like, look, Nomura got too much on his hands. Let's try to finish this up because they really wanted Final Fantasy Versus 13 out. Versus 13. If you know what Versus 13 was to Square Enix, and even just like gaming as a whole. If you go back and watch the 2009 trailer, that shit was supposed to be the next gen. This is supposed to be like the fucking savior of the franchise at one point.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Right, nigga's like in the fucking seat. If you know the stands, that nigga sits right there, dog. Walks out of that motherfucking church, slays 1,000 soldiers and shit. Walks his ass right back inside. We are done. We are done. And now it's supposed to be like that game was supposed to be so monumental to like gaming as a whole. It was those games that like niggas wanted from Square Enix. That and Kingdom Hearts 3, niggas was waiting for those two games.
I'm honestly glad they waited to put this on PS4 though. Like dead ass.
Yeah, it does look dated as fuck now, but it's just I don't know. Besides Final Fantasy VII, Watch Dogs Legion is coming out. Oh no, it's delayed. It's delayed. Never mind. Animal Crossing, New Horizons.
That's the boy right there.
I've never been a fan of Animal Crossing.
I'm not an Animal Crossing nigga, so
I'm an Animal Crossing kind of guy.
I was gonna say something fucked up. I was gonna say something fucked up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to be toxic? Do I want to be toxic? Do I want to be toxic?
Hey man, just let it rip.
Just
let it rip, bro. Just let it rip.
Do I want to be toxic? Do I want to be toxic? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. I would just respectfully say I'm not an Animal Crossing person. I've never been an Animal Crossing person. Those type of games do not interest me at all. Will I pick it up? Probably, just to play with my friends and see what people, you know what I'm saying, what people are into or whatever. Give it a shot, because the last time I played Animal Crossing was on the GameCube. But other than that, that's it. That's it. That's about it. I'm not an Animal Crossing guy. I will try it and or watch Nexus play it, but that's it.
I played Pocket Camp.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
I want to be toxic as fuck. I want to be toxic.
Bro, you don't need to be toxic, okay?
Not younger, but I want to say a lot of things about that game.
Why?
I want to say a lot of things, because that and Sims and like those like little like alternate reality or augmented reality like games or whatever, where it's like a simulator. I got a lot of things to say about those type of games and those type.
Oh,
of
you
people
can't
that
be
like
mad
those
at
games.
Sims. Sims is Sims.
No, Sims.
They were the original.
Okay.
He don't care.
What's next?
Let's keep it a question. This is a game that I just forgot existed. Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2.
Wow.
Already out or no?
It's coming out the 31st.
That is an old ass name. Vampire
Yeah.
Masquerade.
Yeah, I watched Bronze play that.
I
from time
forgot
to
Vampire
time.
Masquerade existed. I'm gonna be
I never
real.
knew what it was until I saw her play it. It's
Hey, you remember that game we used to play? This is a vampire game. It was free to play.
what?
I forget the name of it.
Roblox,
No, the fuck?
Neopets,
No.
What?
Toontown.
No! Shut up! You don't know.
man?
Shut up!
Shit, bro, you can't just say the vampire game that was free to play. Like,
I was talking to Nick.
It's just not funny. I was.
This was back in the ODS days. This was back when everybody was on, and we was. As a matter of fact, it was around the time we was all playing. What was that? Fuck! I can't remember that game. That normal game, normal block. I have no idea what the fuck the name of that game. Minimum. That's what it is. You remember Minimum?
Yeah, I think I do.
what is
Yeah.
the minimum?
It's about the same people.
No, but at the time we were playing Minimum with like
Vampire was
that's
out.
the game we were playing with that vampire game.
Okay, that makes sense. Next is there's no release date for it, but it does come out quarter one. It does come out quarter one is the Battle for Bikini Bottom remake. That SpongeBob game.
No, I'm not.
Not the SpongeBob guy. I'm not hyped for it, but I will admit
Product
it
not
does
yet
look
rated.
beautiful. Like it does look. I gotta say, like the graphics in this bitch, they did a really good job remaking that motherfucker. That motherfucker looks great. That bitch do look colorful. It looked like a PK saturation video game.
It's my type of party right there.
Basically. Next is System Shock.
What the fuck is that?
Serving as a remake of a 1994 game, System Shock is an upcoming remake that is set to release in Q1 2020. After being in development for a while, System Shock was put on hold in February of 2018 while Night Dive reassesses its direction and goals. The development has since picked back up and will hopefully go smoothly into release. I don't know. I never. Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Nosgoth.
What?
Nosgoth. That's the game we played.
I know that game.
I think I remember.
Yeah, it was like it was vampires versus the hunters. You got to be a vampire or a hunter. They put you on the team randomly, and then like you get like all these different types of powers or different types of vampires and all that stuff. This shit was dope. I absolutely loved the game when we played it.
Rainbow Six Quarantine got delayed, but that is the next. That's the next Rainbow Six game that's coming out. I guess. I mean,
I'd give that a chance.
I'll give it a chance because
Rainbow Six kind of guy.
You can't go wrong with Rainbow Six though.
Rainbow Six is fire.
Like, Rainbow Six has been one of the most consistently.
I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that I'm not a Rainbow Six kind of guy.
You bad?
No, I just don't like the game. It's not for me. No, it's just not for me, bro.
You bad?
It's just not for me.
Trials of Mana.
That's me right there.
It's coming out April 24th, 2020. The mana games always escaped me. Last mana game I played was like Dawn of Mana for like the PS2.
I always like caught like bits and pieces of playthroughs with the mana games.
I just don't even. Those games escaped me. That was like just before me. I played Tales instead. I think that was me.
Yeah, I watched the lore on Tales, most of them anyway, and then I played Berseria. Berseria, and I tried to play. Wasn't Zestiria? Tried to play Zestiria. It was boring as balls.
Yeah.
Was it really? I know you were playing that for a little bit, Nick.
Was boring, dog. That shit.
Berseria was fire. I absolutely love Berseria.
Zestiria was boring, dude.
Damn.
Like a lot of walking around with no like actual like progression. It just took forever to get into. I know Shino beat the game, but I never.
Yo, he no life that shit.
Yeah, I don't know why. That shit was not that good.
I was gonna say I thought you beat it.
No, that shit was boring. The next heavy hitter of this year, besides the Final Fantasy remake, is Last of Us 2.
Did you just skip Cyberpunk, or are we still in March?
No, Cyberpunk comes out later.
Damn. Cyberpunk? Does that have a release date?
Yeah, it's like April, right?
Last of Us 2 comes out in May 29th. Cyberpunk comes out April 16th.
Okay. So we did skip
Cyberpunk. Yeah, Last of Us 2 is going to be pretty big. I'm glad they pushed that one back, though.
It's like up on the list. I don't know why.
I heard Cyberpunk it's like this. It's kind of like how Afro sees The Witcher. The story is good, but the gameplay is trash.
I looked at some not gameplay for the fighting combat or whatever, but like as one of those hour-long preview kind of things for it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say the gameplay looks like trash, but it definitely looks like something that I wouldn't, for a game that's as big as Cyberpunk. I don't think I would spend all my time playing that game if the fighting or the combat is bad, because the story looks amazing and the game itself looks great, but I don't know. If I'm fighting things, it's different if it's kind of like a mixture though. Like if they mix it up with some shooter elements, so we have some things like similar to Watch Dogs. Yeah. Then I can rock with it. But if it's just straight fighting and I don't know, or QTEs, that's what I don't want either. I love David Cage games because they're just themselves. But if I don't want a David Cage game of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, if I want QTE, I just play a Telltale game.
Next is the Marvel's Avengers game.
Hell yeah. I know that game's more than likely going to be cheesy as hell, but I'm here for it. I am here.
What about you, Yogu?
Well, I don't know. I seen a couple stuff about it. I think my biggest thing about the Avengers is that I personally don't like the main cast of Avengers that we have. I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate them, but they're definitely not my favorite cast of Avengers. And I would much rather see them dip into other characters that were a part of the Avengers compared to the same cast that we've had for the last decade and a half.
Well, I don't think.
Well, that's what Marvel Alliance is.
Well, Marvel Alliance isn't necessarily all the Avengers though, and it never has been. It's just been Marvel characters coming together.
Yeah, but
no, the Avengers game is gonna have more than just
Well, we haven't seen that. We don't know it. Like,
we've seen
Spider-Man's my
Ant-Man,
favorite character, but I don't
what's her
necessarily see
face?
him swinging through New York.
We're not getting Spider-Man.
Are they playable?
Miss Marvel,
Yeah,
Miss Marvel's playable, and Ant-Man's gonna be playable. Ant-Man's gonna be DLC.
I don't care about Ant-Man.
But Miss Marvel, she's actually a part of the story.
Miss Marvel being there is kind of cool. I do like her character.
So with Miss Marvel being there, it leads me to believe that there's definitely going to be more than just her and the core characters.
That just feels like one out of the 5 or 6 that they're gonna give us available.
And this is Square
DLC.
Enix we're talking about. They don't really aside from Final Fantasy VII, since everybody knows the story of Final Fantasy VII, so they're gonna show the fuck out of that. But this is Square Enix we're talking about. They literally announced it and didn't say shit for it for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they got way more surprises for us with that game releases. And honestly, I don't think they need to show anything else. Like, it's Avengers. The name itself is going to carry it, and then they got Square Enix behind it.
They don't need to show anything else about it. I'm skeptical about the game itself. Like, is my enjoyment for the game going to be up there? Because I don't think the combat, from what we've seen, people were bitching about the combat or whatever for a couple of videos. That's cool. I'm not tripping about it. It's got combos. It looks like it has parries. It's probably like a slower version of the Batman games or the new Spider-Man game, and I'm okay with that. Because that combat is still fun at the end of the day.
Black Widow, Thor. I think everybody except for Iron Man is going to play like that. Iron Man's going to play very different.
Iron Man plays like how he does in the Iron Man movie games.
So he flies around and just blows shit up.
Yeah,
I can fuck with that. I like blowing shit up.
You degenerate? What the fuck is wrong with you?
What you mean? Why else do you play Grand Theft Auto?
I guess.
Fuck
I don't
bitches,
know.
blow shit up and steal stuff.
I'm gonna keep it a fat brick with you, dog. I'm just not a fan of it no more. I think just sticking to the Batman formula and gameplay wise is getting old now. That's just me. Like, I feel like Batman. The Batman trilogy did what it is supposed to do. I feel like Spider-Man definitely took it and utilized it in its own unique way.
It worked very well.
Yeah, and then it's like when you see the Avengers game, dead ass, it looks. Obviously, these are different developers, obviously, but it looks dead ass like a step back from even what the Arkham games were.
Honestly, I would agree with that.
And it's kind of just like, damn, like we're going into 2020 with the same fucking, you know what I'm saying, a dumbed down version of a 2011 game system that another developer in 2019 kind of not shitted on, but kind of took it and obviously made it, you know what I'm saying, made it fit towards Spider-Man and his style. And now you're just giving us a game where out of the 5 motherfuckers, at least 3 of them play exactly like this, but dumbed down. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit shouldn't work anymore. And I'm not excited about the gameplay more so than I'm at like the original story that they're talking about. You know? That's just me honestly, personally.
Yeah, I'm more attuned to the story than the gameplay, because it's gameplay. It's you expect to like throw the hammer with Hulk and call it back on some God of War type shit. You expect to like just literally go berserk with the Hulk and you expect to be real tactical with what's her face, and I
Black
mean
Widow?
it's Black Widow. You know what I meant? She's only
No, I
female
wanted to make sure because
in the
I
game.
mean, you know, I thought you had some secret tech, bro. I was like, wait, you know about other females in the game?
Oh, other than Miss Marvel, she just slaps people with her big ass hands.
That big ass ass.
All right, she's a child in that game. I hope you know that.
Huh?
Damn, dog, Yoku, bro. You looking like you part of the nation. How you rocking Blade? Damn, Yoku, dog.
The king will return.
See, it's a shame because, nigga, real talk, nigga. I gotta be real with you, dog. If you were a captain up here, you will understand the marvel that is that game. You feel me?
All right, dog.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on, time out. Wait a minute.
Run that shit. Run that shit. Play boy. Run that shit.
Where's your hat, bro?
You run that shit, nigga.
We gotta get you a hat. Yo, PAX East, we're all getting hats. We're all getting hats. Come PAX East.
You feel me? Yo, niggas gonna get me canceled, bro.
We're all getting hacked.
I'm just
PAX East, bro.
I'm sorry. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a bigger tree, Yoku, dog. My own fan base is gonna cancel me, bro.
Nah, bro, it's cool, man. Just let it rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish he didn't leave. I was gonna say, Minecraft Dungeons, the Minecraft Diablo game.
Trash.
What you mean trash? What?
Is it good?
It's a Diablo Minecraft game.
I didn't know. Oh, so wait. Speaking of which, Mikey's here, but Mikey's always like busy with life and shit. Crystal Chronicles, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Oh yeah. What you know about that?
That comes out. I never actually got to play it as a kid because it was so fucking convoluted to play it on GameCube. I want to play that shit on Switch. What's up?
You want to play that?
Is it bad? Is it good?
No, fuck no, dude. What's wrong with you? Crystal Chronicles was one of those games growing up that if you played by yourself, it was a good time waster. But when you played with friends, it was an amazing game to just play with friends. And the fact that they remade it and made it online compatible instead of having to how in the old days you needed multiple.
You need the GBA thing, you need the connector, you need an actual Game Boy Advance. Like, that shit was complicated.
Now we have the Switch, and the Switch has online. We could dead ass play that bitch like it's nothing. I'm just saying, dog. I'm gonna keep it a big with you, Sky, dog. Yoku, dog. I'm gonna need you to hold the crystal. You gonna hold the crystal, bro?
Nah, I don't want to hold the crystal. That sounds like I can't fight. I want to fight.
You're holding the crystal.
I want to fight, bro. I want to fight.
The crystal, dog. I'm sorry.
I'm not holding the crystal.
Have you never played the game before?
No.
You're holding the crystal.
I don't want to hold the crystal.
I'm sorry, you're holding the crystal. You've never played the game before, so you're gonna get us fucked in all the missions. When we get to the bosses, you gotta hold the crystal. Bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, what's for dinner though?
What does that mean?
I mean, yeah, like what we eating for dinner. That's what I mean.
I'm just saying, I had some fire chicken parmesan earlier. I'm good. I'm good on food for today.
Bro, so I'm using DoorDash for like one of the first times, right? This fucking app trash. I looked at Papa John's. I don't want pizza, but I'm just scrolling through to see my options. I looked at Papa John's, and they're like, this place is closed. Opens tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bitch, it's 6:30. Papa John's don't close till fucking 11. What you mean it's closed?
Your area, they close down a lot of shit. I know for me, my Uber Eats and my DoorDash closes at 12, despite Steak and Shake and McDonald's being open 24/7.
Oh, so it's just like the people at DoorDash themselves. Okay, I got you.
Because like they look at like the times the normal times where you normally, or I guess drivers normally close off and shit. And not a lot of drivers are out. Like sometimes it depends on your area. Not a lot of drivers are out at 12 o'clock and stuff like that. Like I know the only time I've ever eaten like at night like that was like when I was either out of town or like in the city. But in my own neighborhood, nah, like that shit's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just not it's not working because at 12 it's 6 closed and it opened up at like 6, despite people being out at like 4 or 5 o'clock, Ubering people out and shit. So it's just not there. Another game is Phantasy Star Online. Mikey's just not here to talk about it.
Mikey taking that doo-doo.
Well, I mean, I guess since we're talking about Final Fantasy or Phantasy Star Online, what I can say is expect content on it.
I don't know if I'll make content on that, to be honest.
I will stream.
Now, what I do want to make content on, but we don't have a release date for it, is the Grand Blue MMO. Grand Blue Relink is what I think it's called.
Trying to remember. Grand Blue.
I don't think you've seen it yet. Here,
I think I have. Not the fighter, but the like little RPG combat thing.
That
Relink. Yeah. I saw this. Okay, yeah. I saw this. I know Chimera and Afro were talking about this. This should look good.
Yeah.
This should look good.
It looks real good. No. So Sky Grand Blue is a mobile game at first, but not what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about like they have been in the works for an MMO. They've been doing it for a couple of years, but they were partnered with Cygames Connect or Cygames or something like that, and Cygames recently just left or something. One of the companies just split, and that's why they didn't release it. They were gonna release it last year, but the company split in the middle of the year, the beginning of the year, so a lot of that progress got halted, and they just started pushing out information about it. So yeah, it looks real nice.
It's a console
mode. It's only on PS4.
The next game on this list
came up here with food, bro.
Yeah. Damn, nigga. Yeah.
Hey, where the invite at, dog?
You ain't even ask niggas. You
you
got the checker fries too.
Yeah.
Come on,
anyway,
man.
Next game is apparently there's a Call of Duty Black Ops 5 coming out.
Really?
Really?
That hasn't even been announced yet. They don't usually announce that till like April. You sure it's gonna be Black Ops?
Call of Duty Black Ops. I guess Treyarch is coming out next with their shit. Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's good.
That's weird. We just got Black Ops 4, and you know how they switch between Treyarch and what's the other one? Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
So to get them back to back is kind of like.
I think I don't know. I think they gave up on Sledgehammer. I think Sledgehammer just really just
and Respawn too, yeah.
Infinity War.
Okay. Next is Halo Infinite.
I'm not a Halo guy.
The very first launch title for the new Xbox, or is that that's not Halo Infinite? Is that?
How was Witch Chaos? Witch was it was solid. I ate it last night when I got home. Then I ate the rest of it this morning. And now I'm hungry again. I don't know what I want to eat though, bro. You know.
Is anybody into Destroy All Humans, the remake that's coming out?
Is a remake coming out or a new game?
Yeah, Destroy All Humans, the little alien Martian motherfucker, the evil, the real. He was dead ass like an alien conquers.
Mm-hmm. It reminded me of Mars Attacks. Remember that movie?
I like Destroy All Humans, but again, one of those games that I can only play that game in my cousin's house. My dad would not buy me anything that said something about destroying humans as a kid. So
y'all never understand that, dog. I think I was raised horribly or some shit.
I probably was too, because I had all the Mortal Kombat.
I had Mortal Kombat.
You know what's funny? I had Mortal Kombat. I had a Bloody Roar. Any fighting game that was obviously not something I was supposed to have, I had it. The only games that I didn't have were the obvious things to my parents that they were like, nah, this is rated M, you can't have it. So Gears of War, even though I didn't have an Xbox, but Gears of War, I couldn't have that. I couldn't have Grand Theft Auto. I couldn't have the Destroy All Humans. Not because Destroy All Humans wasn't even rated M. It was just because it had destroying humans in it. I couldn't have fucking Larry's Mansion or whatever the fuck that game was. Obviously couldn't have that. But the only reason I could have all those fighting games that were pretty violent is because my uncle played fighting games and they were into that, so they let me slide. And then that was the same thing with Gears of War 2. I only played Gears of War with him.
Is anybody into...
Did you shoot Larry? Is that what you meant?
Who? Yeah. Leisure Shoot Larry. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Shit, I still can't have that motherfucker.
Is anybody into Psychonauts? I haven't played it.
I think it's pretty good.
Play the
I
first
kind of want to play it.
Dog, play the first one. It's so good.
It is?
Psychonauts 2 is coming out this year. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is coming out. For those interested in the Lego games, those are always good. Persona 5 Royal is coming out.
Royal's coming out and Scramble, but Scramble's one of those games I'm honestly not super excited for.
Scramble looks fire, dude.
It's not that it doesn't look fire. It just Scramble's the one that's no. That's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the Musume game or whatever. Which one is the Dynasty Warrior type game?
Scramble.
That's Scramble? Okay, yeah, that's the one I don't like.
I'm not a
huge fan of Dynasty Warrior. It because they repeat the thing so much. Like Hyrule Warriors, we got that one. I was like, all right, cool, it's whatever. But then you play the game for like an hour or two and it's the same fucking shit. And then you just repeating the process. There's nothing majorly different about it besides the characters.
Hyrule Warriors got really deep.
Did it?
Yeah, you can customize your weapon. You can build on your weapon. You can build on, and like everybody did everything differently.
I know we don't play One Piece games, but One Piece Power Warriors is exactly like that. And all the characters got like different shit to them, or whatever. But it's that on this premise, it's still a Musou Dynasty Warrior type game. So it's like, I mean, if the gameplay's not for you, it's just not for you. But I mean, there's not really much. It's like an arcade-ish type of game, and people love that feeling. So, Ghost of Tsushima is coming out.
That's me right there.
That's gonna be this year's Sekiro.
Unless FromSoft's new game is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, you got Elden Ring.
That was because Elden Ring's coming out. It's supposed to come out this year, or they announced it for this year.
It comes out in June.
Oh, it comes out in June. Well, there you go. That's coming out. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Was the first one good?
I heard very good things about that.
Yeah, I heard good things about it. I never played it myself. Super Meat Boy Forever. The indie game god. No More Heroes 3. Ooh,
hell yeah.
Ooh, a new one that I'm really into. Tales of Arise.
Yes. Oh, weren't we supposed to get that last year?
No, that shit was announced for this year.
No, we were supposed to get the mobile game last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tales of Arise is coming out. That shit is just gonna be fire. I know it's gonna be fire. I can sniff it. And then Crossfire X, which I think is a shooter. By Smilegate. Yeah, it's a shooter.
Literally never heard of that.
Yeah, it's
that's from the people who made Epic 7.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's like all the big games coming out. Obviously, that's not counting like indie games, little third party people it's crazy because we still have yet to have any announcements like that.
Oh, we are getting a Battle Network mobile game.
Yeah, that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting money into it though. Sorry.
I might. No, I'm free to play this year.
You gotta love yourself, though. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself.
I'm free to play this year.
You're trying to get an actual money, and now you're trying to put it in video games. What's good with you, dog?
No, I'm free to play this year.
Relax.
Free to play this year.
The Black the truth. The truth in this bitch, chilling, dog. Oh, hey. Welcome back to another episode of Mega Man Battle Network. Cross transmission. We are lit. Today we're gonna be showcasing our brand new Proto Man unit, our 5-star Proto Man unit with 120 base attack. Shut your bitch ass up.
Like now, guys, I said I'm free to play, but I went ahead. I couldn't just pass up Proto Man. He's my favorite character. I went ahead and dumped in $50 to the game, and thankfully, on my 50th dollar, I received it.
I used to always think Proto Man.
That's literally gonna be me. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be me. I'm sorry. Yo, why does this Crossfire game look like it was made on the original PlayStation? Not PlayStation 2, the original PlayStation. Holy shit, this looks like trash.
I don't know,
y'all
to be
gotta do
honest.
better. Just stick to Epic 7. Come on, man.
I used to always think that Proto Man and Zero were the same motherfucker. Growing up,
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, because it was a
I did
long
too.
hair. It was a long hair and the color scheme of it, really. And then you finally get into the games, and it's like, oh, these are two different motherfuckers. Really relax. But I guess that's pretty much it for the games portions of this. I mean, that's pretty much it, really. On the game side, we still have, the rest of 2020 to be announced with anything.
We have a lot of announcements.
Well, while we are here, there is Pokemon. Whatever Pokemon does next, Breath of the Wild 2 is getting some news finally. Whatever Nintendo has planned for Mario, it might not even be anything. They might just dead ass give it to. If they don't do anything for Metroid 4, they might just announce the collection or the trilogy collection for the Prime series.
That would be nice for Switch.
Bayo
That'd be
3
really nice for Switch.
will be getting some news and or a release date. It should come out. Nintendo, I'm very excited for Nintendo this year. I gotta put that out there. What up?
I think the second half for Nintendo, because we got the first half right now with what they're going to be giving out, which is a couple of games here and there. I don't think we're going to get Breath of the Wild 2 this year, but I do think we're going to get something about Metroid. If we get the trilogy released, that'd be great. But I think we're going to get the Mario one. Either personally, I would rather Sunshine remastered, but I think we're going to get a Mario game, probably
oh shit,
Odyssey 2.
Back. Hold on.
This mail order bride is here.
Yo, he got a mail order bride?
Yeah.
Bro, I need one of them in my life. They stick around for like 3 months, huh?
Yeah.
Man, you know how great it'd be to have a 3-month wife? No commitment. You just get it in, get in where you fit in, right?
Pretty much. All right, did y'all talk about Resident Evil 3 at all?
Not yet.
Because that's coming out this year.
I kind of want to go back and play through 2. With I never did Claire's side of the story.
Oh yeah, we probably should do that before 3 come out.
Well, it kind of turned me off a little bit because I was gonna do 2 or Claire's side of the story, and then people were just like, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's 8,700 tapes."
Shit, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Goodness gracious, what were y'all talking about? Where did I leave off?
Resident Evil 3.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 3 is coming out. Dude, I'm really excited for Nintendo this year. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm really excited for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Excuse me. Whoa, was that an actual question?
Yeah.
Really?
There's just a lot of stuff coming out.
There's a lot of stuff.
Nintendo
got a lot of stuff under them. We're finally getting Breath of the Wild 2 news, even if it isn't a release date, even if it's not coming out this year. This whole year will probably just be like every 3 months or 2 months, something new. Especially at E3, there will be something out. There will be like another demo or like a gameplay showcase
There's some
at E3
coming out that aren't on this list either.
Yeah, that list is like dead ass, not even like touching the surface.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
What Pokemon does next is big.
Yep.
What Pokemon does next is huge.
Let's Go game.
Do you think they're gonna do anything for this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do something every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Pokemon does next is going to be insane. I think yeah, dude. I think we're finally getting. We will be getting. I think we're getting Bayo 3. I think we're getting Bayo 3 in the fall.
I still haven't done Bayo 2.
Yeah, because they did Astral Chain last year. They gotta put out Bayo 3 this year.
I think we're finally getting Bayo 3.
Bro, this burger is hitting hard.
We can tell.
You, bro.
We can tell. We can tell. Trust me. We got it. Nigga said mystery dungeon. I'm gonna throw up, nigga.
Okay, anyway. Wait. Time out. I'm not a fan of mystery dungeon like that, but do you think they could make a good mystery dungeon game for the Switch and it not get trashed?
I don't think we're not getting Pokemon. I don't think all spin-off games will ever touch the Switch ever again.
They have their own spin-off game.
I don't think that's true.
Let's Go is a spin-off game. That's gonna be their down game. I really think.
I think what he means is like not main series games as far as catching Pokemon and battling goes. So I wouldn't count Let's Go into that.
I think all those games are gonna be mobile games.
You know what? There's an article though. Nintendo said they had no intentions on making another Let's Go, regardless of how well it did for them.
I don't know about all that.
I don't think that's a good idea. I really think we're gonna get a Let's Go Johto. I really think we're gonna get a Let's Go Johto.
I think they're gonna. I think they're definitely putting out another. They're 100% putting out another fucking Let's Go game. I don't give a fuck what they talking. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. They 100% will.
Nick say I'm going up there and they're gonna do it because
they are. Like the demand for a Let's Go Johto game is already high, despite how poorly received Let's Go was after the fact that people already bought it. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? The shit did great. And Go is still successful as fuck. Sword and Shield are successful. It's like that whole mobile game gimmick is just big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if Sword and Shield are streamlined, if Sword and Shield is dead ass a console mobile game, really. And if that shit works, the shit works. You know what I'm saying? Let's Go. Let's Go is definitely getting another fucking game. Like I said, I don't think we're ever getting spin-off games on the console ever again. And if they do, it definitely won't be Mystery Dungeon. It definitely won't be Ranger. It definitely.
Hold on. I might get addicted to ordering shit off fucking DoorDash, bro. It costs a little bit more money. I'm just saying. Listen. It costs a little bit more money, right? Like because they charge you like $3 or $4 or whatever for taxes for some fucking reason.
Hold on, pause. I don't understand where people are coming from with the Sword and Shield 2, even if it's just haters making up. There's zero legends or story in Sword and Shield for a sequel. That's the thing, though. True. That's the thing, though. When they mean Sword and Shield 2, they're not saying an actual sequel. They're saying like a third game iteration. That they're not saying, oh yeah, let's do a sequel game to Sword and Shield. They're not. And if they are, there's definitely a lot of things that you can do when it comes to time skipping. You can see how Hop is, what happens to Bede, all the characters that basically grew up or whatever. But I think when people talk about Sword and Shield 2, they just mean another Galar game. I think they just want to. There's probably gonna be a third iteration, kind of like how Ultra and Ultra Moon were. That's what they really really mean, because it's like as much as Sword and Shield were very surface level games, there really ain't shit to those games anyway to keep playing them, motherfucker. So it's like, hey, let's make a third version, put more shit in there, and people are gonna eat it up.
I would personally prefer, just because it was mentioned, so now I'm thinking about it. Sword and Shield 2. I would prefer them to do a sequel like they've done with Black and White, but an actual like good. So how we barely got a story in this one, just make 2 the actual fucking story. Because if you think about it, and they do something like how do I put it? They do a the third, like Emerald or Platinum or something like that, and like, all right, cool. Well, here we go. We're gonna do this, and this is the game that should have been. Now we're back in Ultra Sun and Moon period, where this should have been the game we got initially, right? But if they do a sequel for it, and they don't necessarily forget or skip over the things that were in Sword and Shield base, but they add onto it significantly, and then it proceeds or it progresses from there. Because we don't really need to go again on what happened with I forgot the dude's name already, Chairman Rose. We don't need to go into, oh, this is in depth for Sword and Shield 1, replay the fucking story all over again. But if you did a sequel and then you included, all right, Chairman Rose did this for this reason, cool. And then there's a whole new actual evil team and whatever the fuck else, and there's a new evil person, or maybe Oleana got, she wants Rose's dick so bad that she started her actual evil team and she's gonna break Rose out of prison. Whatever. There's so many things that you could do with what little we got from Sword and Shield to actually make a really good story. And I feel like that would be a way better move on their part than trying to give us what Sword and Shield should have been.
Just give us a battle simulator.
That would be nice too. That would be nice too. But then you're gonna be.
I think we're still.
You're
getting,
gonna be in Nick's boat, bro. You're gonna be like, man, this game is great for 3 months.
I think we're still getting a. I think we're still getting a third Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon type of tactic. I just think that's because it sells. It works. It works. It works. It just works. As much as we shit on Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, the concept of it works. Instead of making it one game, just make it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, do y'all tip y'all delivery drivers?
Yes.
What do you tip?
What are you getting? How much of whatever you're getting?
I'm just getting a chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Like $2 or $3.
Damn, you better give them more. They risking their life out there.
Not for no goddamn chicken sandwich anymore. It's not 2019. Relax. But look, like I said, like it's like I just feel like a sequel game to Sword and Shield just isn't
in the cards.
Isn't in the cards for what makes money. Pokemon is one of those companies and one of those franchises now where who gives a fuck about continuity? Who cares about what people want? It's about what sells now. You know, and the games are such a small portion of the company. It's like, nigga, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck you. We're gonna give these niggas Sword and Shield 2. We're gonna add more instead of what the 430 mons that are already in the game. Give them an extra 100 or 2. Add more mons. Add more mons to the raids, and that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Add more Pokemon to the teams and more lore on Eternatus, and I guess the dogs or whatever. We're done. We're really good. Balance out the battle mechanics, and we're done. Like that's. And then the games last on YouTube for like at least a good month and a half, and then they run the VGC sets, and then the next year, Sinnoh remakes, basically. Because I feel like it's too early for Sinnoh remakes, really. Yep. And it's coming from a Sinnoh nigga. As much as I want Sinnoh remakes, I think it's severely early. It's too early for a Sinnoh remake.
They haven't perfected
what Sword and Shield is yet.
Bro, they just canceled my order immediately. What the fuck?
Because they probably closed.
They're not closed.
Oh, well.
It is Sunday.
Or you mean the DoorDash people?
Oh, well. Whatever. But no, like, it's just like, I don't know, dude. I just feel like when it comes to Sword and Shield, as much as I didn't like those games, it's just people like that shit. And we're probably going to be getting another Sword and Shield iteration with more mons, more balancing, more depth to the characters that weren't Hop, Embiid, and even Marnie to some degree. And then like that's it, you know? That's it. Like that's literally it at that point. And people can eat that shit up. People are gonna buy it. Competitive are gonna have to buy it because it's balanced out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it. And that's just gonna last a year. And then here's the Sinnoh remakes. The Sinnoh remakes are gonna be spazzing because by that time they've already perfected the Switch formula for Pokemon. We probably won't be getting raid battles like that anymore. It's whatever Sinnoh remake gimmick that they have, and that's how I see Pokemon in the next 2 or 3 years. Unfortunately, it's very lackluster, and people can eat that shit up.
So, do you think, just because you mentioned it, going to the bring back national deck side, do you think that their movement minus the toxicity is actually a good idea if people want
it's
more
gonna
from
work.
Pokemon.
It's gonna work.
It'll work.
It's gonna work.
I honestly don't think so because I feel like that's going to be in the pipeline regardless.
No. So think about the national decks. They're gonna bring back the national decks thing, and I guess the whole concept of wanting more from Pokemon is that it was gonna do. They were gonna get better regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like fundamentally as a video game, the games are gonna get better regardless. It's gonna be the same Pokemon formula. Whether or not you grew out of that or you want more out of that is completely irrelevant. But it's gonna be the exact same Pokemon formula. It's just gonna be more refined to run better, to transition and progress better and shit like that. And the whole bring back the national deck shit, they were gonna bring back the national decks regardless. And now that they've made it more vocal, it's like, hey, we're not gonna bring back the entire fucking thing, but we're gonna add more variety to the games and shit like that, and guess to bring add a bigger portion of the Pokédex to these games now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the shit was gonna happen regardless. So it's like bring back the national decks was a losing battle, especially when a nigga came out and said no. You know what I'm saying? But they will be more insightful when it comes to putting more variety of the mons in there. And that's cool and all, right? But then there goes the, Pokemon should be treated with more care and better and shit like that. And it's like, you're right, but they don't give a fuck about that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, people want, like, the next Pokemon game to be Persona 5. And I'm like, Persona 5 has to stand out so it can sell good compared to Pokemon. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about it. Like,
I can't imagine Pokemon ever getting to a point where Persona or any JRPG for that matter. I can't imagine Pokemon ever getting to that point.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, all these RPGs have to stand out. They have to have gimmicks. They have to have some type of like appeal because they're gonna get outsold by Pokemon regardless.
Yeah. So
it's just like Pokemon doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to do shit. What? And that's. We always talk about this shit, and it's one of those unwritten truths where it's like, or unspoken truths where it's like, no matter what we as fans want, the Pokemon company does not give a fuck. You're gonna buy these games, you're gonna buy these plushies, you're gonna buy this merchandise, you're gonna buy this TCG. The Japanese people are still gonna come out to the US and play the tournaments. You're still gonna play the tournaments. Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
What's crazy is we already talked about this because it really doesn't matter what the game side does because they have all that other shit. They're gonna make that money regardless, even without the game.
Exactly.
So,
you're gonna get it.
The last thing on Pokemon Company's mind is the game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Until it becomes time to release it.
And that's unfortunately for me as a fan. Like I said, I think for me, I honestly don't see myself playing Pokemon for more than a couple of months, which is why like I give like times, and it sucks too because I know like a lot of people watch this channel for Pokemon, but that's just for the sake of content itself. But now we're hitting to a point where Pokemon itself as a game, there really isn't that much content you can make on it that the games are giving you like lackluster shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like when X and Y came out, Wi-Fi battles, you can shiny hunting and breeding and all that shit, wonder trading systems, all these like, little gimmicks and shit, right? And it just gets better as the games progress and shit, and there's more stuff you can do because every game was like something new added to it. But now Pokemon is to the point in this new renaissance where it's like they're too big to give a fuck now.
Yeah.
Like who cares? Like for me, as much as I would love Pokemon to, have voice acting or have some type of groundbreaking music, even if it does have good music, it's not the most like experimental. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. It's the same Pokemon-esque style or iteration when it comes to the music. Catching characters, in-depth story. As much as I want that, I know for sure that it's not gonna come, and by the time it comes, I will already have either moved on or or kind of just like been in and out of the series, which is why I decided to branch out to begin with. Because like I know people are like, "Oh, Nick, what happened to these Pokemon games?" Like, my nigga, these Pokemon games are ass. What do you want me to do? I can't sit here and play through Sword and Shield 5 times and call this shit exciting because it's not that good. The games themselves are not that good, bruh.
I think that's why I ultimately decided not to, because I had a lot of, I mean, you know it, Nick. I had like 5 LPs and projects planned revolving around Pokemon just because I felt like playing it again. And then right before Sun and Moon, I was like, you know what? I just don't want to do this.
I'm
And
more
it's simply
excited
because of,
I'm more excited for the fan games coming out this year than whatever they introduce next.
I'm still kind of like upset with the
At
fan
what?
games.
I'm not upset only
They just
because
they said they're gonna come out, they're not coming out, and then they're like, oh man, we're still working on it, and like, there's so much of the shit.
and that's what me and Nexus were talking about this. Me and Nexus were talking about this like dead ass last night or 2 days ago. We were talking about the issue with fan games where that they're not consistent in terms of like delivering their news. Like,
Yeah,
the thing about it is, and it's not their fault either, because it's Nintendo too. If they get too popular, Nintendo's gonna like smash the ban hammer on they shit, and you'll never see them again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the unfortunate truth. Is like, hey, it's a gift and a curse, because these fan games, look at Phoenix Rising, right? Phoenix Rising, for the longest time, people were so excited for Phoenix Rising. When we finally got the game, people played through the game. It was so short. People kind of just like, you know what I'm saying, moved on from it. And then,
well, we didn't get Phoenix Rising. We got the demo, right?
yeah, you got the demo for Phoenix Rising. It was like a 2 gym badges, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't even a gym badge. It was that ass just you.
No. You got Phoenix Rising. You got to the gym because that bitch was hard as fuck, and
Yeah.
people complained about
It was that one gym, and then like
that normal chick,
the
and she
three
fucking ran your
towns,
ass.
and that was it. And you got to that point, and it was like, okay, cool, we're done with the demo. Now what? And the next thing you know, niggas are like, oh, the main developer nigga up and left the damn development team. The development team, damn near shut down and disbanded, and they came back and tried to do some shit. It's like, whoa. At that point, we don't give a fuck anymore. Ethereal Gates came out strong. They had like 3 gym badges, fucking forest you went through. They had like hella routes, had like some side quests. Ethereal Gates came out strong as shit. And then they had like a little small run of like news and information and shit. And then they went like 2-3 years without any like actual information and progress in their next demo.
They still ain't brought nothing out.
No, they did.
No, they changed their name earlier.
They changed their name,
last year.
and they changed their name, and they basically just remade the game. Because it was like, oh damn, this isn't even Ethereal Gates anymore. We may as well finish the game, give it a whole new name. Some more mods that we've been working on the side, and here it is. This is the game, and the demo's supposed to come out this year, and it's supposed to be like a longer demo than what Ethereal Gates was, because Ethereal Gates was back in like a format now. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like they don't need a demo anymore. Just give the game.
No,
out,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, we don't need demos anymore. We don't need that, because look at I feel like as the Pokemon community, and I guess in terms of like, this is coming from the perspective of somebody who is also who used to be a fan of fan games, somebody who damn near built his entire reputation on fan games, from somebody who is a YouTuber who sees the audience reception from these videos, who also sees the other YouTubers playing these video games. The thing about demos are like broken promises, where it's like, here is these 3 gym badge demos, and we're going to go away for 2 years. And in those 2 years, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody cares at that point. Like, the only games that can get away with that shit to this day are Sage, Reborn, and Rejuvenation.
But that's because they gave us a solid chunk of a game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those games,
like DLC is what we're getting at that point.
Exactly. Like those games are like, at this point in time, complete experiences by themselves. I can play through Sage right now like it's a brand new ass game, and those games are so unique. It's the story, it's the characters, it's the town design, it's the Pokemon themselves. It's like shit like that. and to Rejuvenation and Reborn, it's the convoluted Kingdom Hearts-esque story. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, keeps people engrossed into that shit. I think another game that was gonna come out was Unbound. Pokemon Unbound is another game that's supposed to be finishing this year that I haven't touched yet, but I've been looking at that game for a minute.
Is that about like
It's Hoopa, yeah. It's Hoopa.
Hoopa, there we go.
It's
Yeah,
Hoopa,
yeah.
But yeah, like that's where we're at now. In terms of a community standpoint, the audience and the YouTubers don't give a fuck about no goddamn demo. If you have a demo, just give it to niggas, give it to the YouTubers, give it to the people who are like testers and shit. At that point, get your bugs, get your press and shit out there, and that's literally it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. That's it. And then just finish this goddamn game, because nobody cares about this shit no more. I feel like as a person, I can't sit here and play through Insurgents 10 different times and shit and say this shit is like, oh, this is the best fan game ever. Like, this shit's outdated now. Shout out my nigga Suze, but Insurgents has ran its course.
Which it should have, you know.
It should have.
Let it run its course.
It's done.
The
game is done now.
Else or move on.
The game is done. Like and it's finished. That's the thing too. Like, the game is finished now. So who cares?
I feel like games like Sea and Sky and Pokemon Phoenix Rising, they need, since they only, you know, delivered like a little 1 gym, 2 gym demo, they need to have an online presence. They have to have an online presence so they can stay relative.
Well, not even them staying relevant. They just need to. I'm gonna stick by this. They need to just fucking release the game. Phoenix Rising. Both of those games actually, they started around the same time period. You know, I guess they shared resources. I don't really know, to be honest, but they don't share resources. Okay, so I know they started around the same time period. They both released demos around the same time period.
I will tell you, Phoenix Rising looks a hell of a lot better than Ethereal Gates. Well,
it definitely does, but the whole thing behind it is, they've been gone for years. They've been talking about how they've been working on things. They've lost members. They've been working by themselves, whatever. Don't give us another demo.
And like, those are setbacks.
I'm just going off of how the Pokemon games are. You should be at least 6-7 badges deep. You know? Like, that game should pretty much be done. By the time they wrap up the demo, we should just have the whole game.
I want to announce this for anybody watching this who is any interested in Sage. The last time I spoke to the person in charge of Sage was back in February of 2019. At that point, she said they were 6 or 7 gym badges into the game, meaning in 2020, the next Pokemon Sage update is going to be the final game. And that's fire, because that's probably the best, in my opinion. That's the best fan game that's coming out anytime soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sage is phenomenal, dude. Oh my goodness, I want you to know. And
I gotta look into that.
Seth's so mad at me for this shit. My guys Seth and Paul showed me what Sage looked like. It had like maybe 1 gym badge, and I did it, and then I did it, and then Voldemort did it, and then Nexus did it, and then everybody kind of just kept going, and then it came out again, and then we redid it again, and then A-Drive was there, all that shit was there, and it just like it's just such a good fucking game, dude. I'm so happy that it's finally getting finished. But no, I think when it comes to fan games and ROM hacks and shit, we just gotta stop. I honestly feel like we just gotta stop being fans, if that makes sense. Like, I understand making a fan game is cool and all, but don't make it a fan game. Make it better than the original game. Right. Like, I feel like that's the reason why Reborn and Rejuvenation and Sage are the way that they are, was because they will take Pokemon as an idea and just build on Pokemon as an idea versus just making another Pokemon fan game. You know? Like look at I can see I promise you I can't play through Pokemon Fire Red with all the Pokemon available anymore. It's not 2012 anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't sit here and play Pokemon, I don't know, Shiny Gold, where it's deadass just another Johto remake, just with all the updated mechanics and shit. You know what I'm saying? No, that shit is ass now. It's 2020. No. It's 2020, my G. Like, nobody nobody's checking for these shits no more, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna make a fan game, let's make a fan game. Like I would love if we used Pokemon as an idea and not just like
a Cruxus.
A base game.
Yeah, like a base. Like I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I'm gonna make a Pokemon ROM hack. Okay, what is it gonna be about? Oh shit, dude, I want it to be Fire Red with all the new mechanics, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just have all the characters from the older games in it, and just change a couple of maps. No, my nigga. Nobody wants to play that shit no more. It's not 2012. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? And it's great. I actually saw it. Hold on. Oh, cool. It's on the way. Nice. I saw the Sword and Shield, right? You know, they have the hack little program or whatever. It's out now, so you can edit all the text and the Pokemon. A lot of people are using that for randomizers and, you know, whatever else. But I'm waiting on the person, and I'm pretty sure somebody's working on it now, but I'm waiting on the people to change the actual text and the story. Play certain characters where you want them, whatever the case may be. Just change up Sword and Shield. Because that's the biggest thing. If people are looking for ROM hacks,
you won't be able to do that. You'll never be able to do that.
What do you mean they won't be able to do it?
A couple years. It's gonna take a while.
I mean, they won't be able to complete it now, but the program's definitely out here.
Well, change the text, yeah, but not the maps. You won't be able to change the maps. You won't be able to change the.
No. The placement can stay the same. I mean, the characters where they are.
Mm-hmm.
You can change where they are because you change their model. And then if you change the text, it just changes whatever they're going to say or what you want them to say.
That's very ambitious. And honestly, I don't think that's worth the trouble doing it, because the way that hacks are set up right now on the Nintendo Switch,
it's dead as the texture mod.
Yeah, it's like texture mods, but like the way that more than likely it'll be done through PK3DS. And how that works is, yeah, you have the base game. You can change text. You can change, you know, battles or whatever, but you won't be able to change story flow. So whenever you come into wherever you meet the dogs are always going to be there. It's going to be the dogs. Or you can, I mean, you can change it to like a different Pokemon, but you won't.
The premise is still the same.
Yeah, you won't be able to change the outcome of the entire story.
I know, and this is something that I feel like a lot of people don't know. The thing about hacking and like making a fan game, you're better off just making an RPG Maker game.
Yes, if you make an RPG Maker game, then you literally have no bounds.
You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. I promise you.
Changing stuff into an already made game like a SNES ROM, not SNES ROM, but a GBA ROM or something like that. That will always be infinitely harder because you're working with code that's already been established.
Yeah.
So it's basically like, just think about it as writing a paper over somebody else's handwriting. That's literally what they were doing with a ROM. Now with what do you call it? The RPG Maker.
Yeah.
It's a blank sheet of paper, and you have all of your tools on the side. You have all of your tools on the side, so that way you can pick from your tools and put them on that blank sheet of paper.
And you can make your own. That does. You can make your own and import them into there, and that's how those like little fan models and shit, the little fan things.
Those will always be infinitely better game. That's exactly what Susie does with Insurgents. Yeah, he basically started from the ground up, or he had the Pokemon template.
Yeah.
Whatever. And you start off with that, and you just build off of that.
And that sucks because it is limiting in terms of like what we can do and what they can do for fan made games and stuff like that. But I mean, to be honest, that's pretty much all they can do, because Pokemon games, like, nigga, we haven't even there's not even a good Nintendo DS hack for any Pokemon games.
Nope.
And that's telling you something, because that the regular DS is like a decade old now.
Yeah.
So it's like, if that shit isn't hackable in 2020, nigga, Fuck that.
You're better off just learning code.
Yeah, you're better off just making a whole new game that's not even close to Pokemon.
The thing is, you're gonna have to learn code regardless. You might as well learn code on your terms instead of
so you can do what you want. That makes sense.
So if it's not an RPG Maker game, any fan-made game, it's either gonna be a ROM. It's gonna be a ROM hack of a GBA title. Because those are like the next big easiest things. So it's like that's pretty much it. That's pretty much that whole thing. But my issue is, come 2020, I'm sorry, but Pokemon is, I don't know, dude. I don't know how Pokemon is looking for me. I definitely I can admit when I've grown out of the mediocrity. That's for me.
Like, I'm done.
No, I've grown out of the mediocrity, dude. Like when Shofu talked about like Shofu did that little like video where it was like what Pokemon Sword and Shield could have done better, or like why they're not that bad of games, shit like that. I agree with like that ass, like the games themselves have been mediocre since 5th gen. They just have. And to be honest,
I didn't even know he did a video on that.
Yeah, he did like maybe 2 or 3 of them. And for me, it was like, I 100% agree. I've been saying this shit for years now. And the games themselves are not that memorable anymore. The games themselves are kind of just like bits and pieces. It's one of those things where Pokemon content is really, when it comes to YouTube content creation wise, nigga, the creators make the content. You know? Like, nigga, we know your games are fucking mediocre as fuck when we have to make 50 different fucking lock variations and have our 5 best friends on a video. You know what I'm saying? Just to sit there and just talk for background noise. That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
That's dead ass saying a lot. That's saying a lot about the games. That's saying a lot about the times, and it's saying a lot about the audience as well, because the audience themselves, Pokemon gaming on YouTube really isn't all that smacking either. The biggest Pokemon channels are all TCG channels and news channels and Pokemon Go channels.
Yes, because that's what Pokemon is.
That's now. What Pokemon is now. Exactly.
Really, the game only comes out once a year, so there's only so much you can do with that.
Exactly.
But
and
about TCG, you talk about Pokemon Go, there are literally updates every week for that shit. So yeah, they're gonna have a limited amount of
exactly, and it just keeps getting better the more these games come out. And then you look at like Pokemon gaming content, like Let's Play content, shit like that. It's like, you know, look at where we're at now. You know, look where we're at now. Like, unless you're doing a co-op, nobody's watching your playthrough. unless it's let's really talk about it. Unless it's a new game, or you have one of your friends in that video, nobody's watching your single fucking playthrough of Pokemon Platinum. Nobody wants to watch that shit. You know, unless you randomize that shit, nobody wants to watch it no more. Randomizers, single player randomizers, stopped being cool like a year ago. Everybody does collabs now, and like live streams on YouTube, and shiny hunting. People throw their money at those shits, so it's like, hey, we're gonna just do it, because Pokemon as a medium on YouTube is just kind of just, I wouldn't say dying, but it's stagnant. It's stagnant as hell.
Yeah.
It's stagnant as shit. And I'm sorry, like, as much as I love Nexus and Supra, I do not want to have like 10, 15, 20 different fucking series with them on the channel for the entirety of the year, and that be what people watch. Especially when you have hella games coming out that aren't Pokemon related, that are gonna fucking spaz out regardless on YouTube. Exactly. That's just for me personally. What? You know.
I'm still doing the thing.
We're about to end it off soon.
On your shirt. I'll be up in a minute.
That's the daughter?
Yeah.
Daddy.
I'm not gonna make y'all go to bed before we do game night. Okay.
I do game nights on Sundays?
Yeah, well, movie nights are usually on Sunday. They went to the movies last night.
I was gonna say, like, Sundays though, game nights are like a Friday, Saturday thing.
Yeah, usually on Saturday.
There you go. But no, like it's just Pokemon as a this nigga really went to Popeyes. Really got the chicken sandwich. But yeah, like I don't know, just Pokemon as a medium in terms of just content creation is kind of just stagnant as hell. And like I said, I love Nexus and Super, but I do not want to keep doing the same 5-10 games over and over again. Just for just for that.
See how they do it.
I don't either, dog. That nigga Nexus did like a surprise trade lock. I'm like, my nigga, how? You played that game at least about 3 or 4 times now. The game's not that good, bro. Relax. Relax.
For what? Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
He's done that already?
Bro, he was doing a surprise trade thing last night.
Oh, these are Twitch or stream things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. Those games are not that good, dog. I can understand shiny hunting because there's just like 100 new Pokemon to shiny hunt for. That's cool, but nigga, I'm sorry, I can't play through those games again, bro. It's not happening, dog. I think I saw Super and Patters do like a Pokemon Red 721 Nuzlocke randomizer versus, and I'm just like, we are beyond that. We are beyond that. We are beyond that, dog. We are beyond that, dog. And it's just like, I don't know, maybe I've grown out of content creation for Pokemon as a medium more so than the games themselves, but this is just too stale now, dude.
I feel that.
And it's saying a lot, when people themselves are saying, "Hey, no, real talk." It's saying a lot. It's saying honestly, and people watching this have to pay attention to this shit. It's saying a lot when Pokemon YouTubers are getting told by their audiences to do collaborations over anything new from them by themselves.
You know what's funny about that is that goes back to what we were saying. Shit, dude, middle of last year. I guess we said it in the podcast too, but like episode 2 or something like that. When we said the same thing about a lot of these before Sword and Shield comes out, a lot of the content creators, regardless of what they want to do with their content, they just don't have a presence by themselves. And it's a big thing. A lot of people don't want to admit it or they don't want to accept it. That's fine, whatever. But the truth and reality is, I'm
getting hungry too. Y'all niggas make me want to go eat.
Bro, I'm telling you, dog. I woke up from that nap and then he came in with Checkers fries and I was like, yeah, no, I gotta find something to eat.
Y'all gonna make me. I'm over here. I still got a whole 500-600 something free calories for the day. Go ahead.
But yeah, they don't have a presence by themselves, and collabs are fucking huge. Even with He Who Shall Not Be Named at the current moment in time, even without him being here. It just the certain clique of I mean it's whatever. Asteroid, Vinny, all of them, they have this profound presence with collabs. And if you look at like in comparison
to me, they popularized collabs.
Oh, they definitely did.
Because people started getting views.
That is on them,
Yeah, that's 100%. Like I 100% give them, and I tip my hat off to them. They 100%.
Mars, calories are when you watch your calories, that's what you mention when you want to like how much you take in when you eat.
Why are you explaining that?
It kind of just popped up. I was like, whatever. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they're trying to get into it. I don't know. It's whatever.